Welcome to Real Human Voices.
Reading really old books.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello. Just us today.
Actually, yeah. Looks like it. That's okay.
Is there
That's okay.
anybody out there?
We're used to speaking into the void.
And mine's more like screaming into the void. I get quite upset with the void, and I don't tend to give it any conversation, so I just scream at it a bit. So I got such a sore voice today. We do have one viewer though, so that's quite nice. Yeah. We like this. Hello, the one viewer, mystery viewer. We love you. Thank you for being here.
So continuing with the play we've been reading kind of suits the day, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does, because it's very much anti-romance in a sense, as we are very much anti-Nifnafanalia Day. Yes,
exactly.
Day. What is that noise that's going on behind you, fella?
Loud chair.
Loud chair. Randanda. Well, we had two and they've gone away again, but that's okay because one is better than none. Yes, and we don't mind. Come and go as you like, but thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Yes. So yes, today is going to be a matter of reading a little bit of the importance of being earnest, and we got a little bit about the origins of Valentine's Day not being exactly palatable,
and the current state, which is not exactly palatable, but more so.
And we've got pictures and a show and tell and everything.
Yay!
Yay! So we've got 3 viewers now, so I think it's a good time to start Act 3, to meet the 3 with Act 3. Yes. and stuff. How's that sound? No, 2 again.
That's good.
Yay! That doesn't undermine that we've got 2 people here who are very important to be here, and we appreciate it very, very much. Yes, because we're the only people that are here without dates on a Saturday night. Actually, it's especially tonight, though. I don't think anybody will want to be out tonight. That's just no. We don't like this. Kozlowski, hi. Good to see you. How are you doing? How's the day?
He's overrated.
It's kind of like sainty. If you reorganize the letters, it's sainty. Sanity is kind of like pure and stuff, and sainty. But if it's insanity, you're insanity. So pure evil. Rah, rah, rah. I hope you've had a good day, Kozlowski. How are things going? How are things been? How are you? How are you ticking over? It's good to see you. But anyway, right. Yeah, sorry. This is me getting carried away. Right. Shall we, sir? Shall we
indeed?
So we'll be kind of like messing about with like who does what. On the general scheme of things, Mr. Bill's gonna do Gwendolyn. Oh, is she okay? I like the whole crunch, like grind things up and mix it into licky licks and lie to the cat. That's generally a good way for me to do it. Yes, please. Who would like to hear something generally funny? I was only talking about lying to my cats. I have 2 now. It's like, no, I'm not putting anything at all into your medicine. No. Into your licky licks that you love so much. Oh. You. Oh, meow. You know, that means if they have heart murmurs, they get extra cuddles.
Exactly. It's good that you've got the medication for it as well.
Yes, exactly. Because we are cat people here. We love the cats. Subaru.
Subamu.
That is absolutely glorious.
There used to be a small country store a couple towns over from here. They called it Cowdrey's, and their propane tank, they had the big long propane tank. They painted it white with spots on it and made it into a big cow.
Oh, they're so cute. I like the big mooses over there. The big mooses, like big moose statues you've got everywhere.
Yes. Cool. Yes, there are definitely a lot of mooses about.
Moosies. I need moosies. Moosies are awesomesies. Right, my lovelies. Shall we get cracking and get reading? Yes, we like this.
The 3rd act of The Importance of Being Earnest.
Act 3.
Morning room at the manor house.
Morning room.
Gwendolyn and Cecily at the window looking out into the garden.
You didn't get it then, did you? Good morning room.
Jesus.
Sorry. Anyway.
Gwendolyn, the fact that they did not follow us at once into the house, as anyone else would have done, seems to me to show that they have some sense of shame left.
They have been eating muffins. Nom, 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 nom. That looks like repentance.
They don't seem to notice us at all. Couldn't you cough?
But they haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What effrontery.
They're approaching. That's very forward of them.
Let us preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly. It's the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first ones to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have something very particular to ask you. Much depends upon your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother? In order that I might have an opportunity of meeting you. That certainly seems a satisfactory explanation, does it not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
I don't, but that does not affect the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of grave importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might have an opportunity of coming to town to see me as often as possible? Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I'll take a quick break then. There's a moose loose about this house. Yes,
about this house.
About this. I know. Well, oh. Oh my God. We'll take that one under advisement. Yes,
Yeah,
I've heard tales. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry, where are we at?
So, Gwendolen, I have the gravest of doubts upon the subject, but I intend to crush them. This is not the moment for German skepticism. Their explanations appear to be quite satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's. That seems to me to have put the stamp of truth upon it.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief has said. His voice alone inspires one with absolute credulity.
Then do you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean, no.
True. I had forgotten. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. Which of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not both speak at the same time?
An excellent idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take time for me?
Certainly.
1, 2, 3. Your Christian names are still not an insuperable barrier. That is all.
That is all.
Our Christian names? Is that all?
Is that all?
But we're going to be christened this afternoon.
This afternoon. I hate that line. And the other one so much.
So that's something that we would play around with some fancy editing if we were actually recording it rather than just reading it off. But
exactly, and we can't see each other. We can't do the timing. My goodness gracious!
Exactly. We can't sync it up because of the lag in back and forth. So anyhow,
apologies.
It's going to be interesting to see how it ends up being recorded. For my sake, are you prepared to do this terrible thing? I am.
To please me, you are ready to face this fearful ordeal. I am.
How absurd of us to talk of equality of the sexes. Where questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us. We are.
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Darling.
Darling.
Merriman. Lady Bracknell. Good heavens!
Gwendolen, what does this mean?
Merely that I am engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Come here. Sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young, of physical weakness in the old. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin, I followed her at once by a luggage train. Her unhappy father is, I am glad to say, under the impression that she is attending a more than usually lengthy lecture by the University Extension Scheme. Lengthy extension? On the influence of a permanent income on thought. I do not propose to undeceive him. Indeed, I have never undeceived him on any question. I would consider it wrong, but of course, you will clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment. On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. And now as regards Algernon. Algernon! Yes, Aunt Augusta? May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides? Oh, no. Mr. Bunbury does not reside here. Bunbury is somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead. Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden. No, I killed Bunbury this afternoon. I mean, poor Bunbury died this afternoon. What did he die of? Bunbury? Oh, he was quite exploded. Exploded? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity. Narrator's note. Were you going to do Algernon on this bit?
Well, it goes back to being a little more balanced afterwards. If you wanted to keep with him, it's up to you.
Okay. Hey, watch out. Good to see you. How's my sound, by the way? I keep thinking that I'm getting a bit of a reverb on my microphone.
I think you sound all right.
Okay, no worries. As long as it still sounds fine. I just don't want it to go whoop whoop. Right. Anyway, Mr. Bunbury. Right. My dear Aunt there we go. Exploded? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity. My dear Aunt Augusta, I mean, he was found out. The doctors found out that Bunbury could not live. That is what I mean. So Bunbury died. He seems to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. I'm glad, however, that he made up his mind at the last to some definite course of action and acted under proper medical advice. And now that we have finally got rid of this Mr. Bunbury, may I ask, Mr. Worthing, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I am engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta. I beg your pardon? Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell. I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air of this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seems to me considerably above the proper average the statistics have laid down for our guidance. I think some preliminary inquiry on my part would not be out of place. Mr. Worthing? Is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desire information. Until yesterday, I had no idea that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, SW, Gervase Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporran, Fiefshire, NB.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspires confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They are open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby? a firm of the very highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am told that one of the Markbys is occasionally to be seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
How very kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both German and the English variety.
Oh, a life crowded with incident, I see, though perhaps somewhat too exciting for a young girl. I am not myself in favour of premature experiences. Gwendolyn, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I had better ask you if Miss Cardew has any little fortune.
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds, that is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £130,000, and in the funds. Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady, now that I look at her. Few girls of the present day have any real solid qualities, any of the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of surfaces. Over here, dear. Pretty child. Your dress is sadly simple, and your hair seems almost as nature might have left it. But we can soon alter all that. A thoroughly experienced French maid produces a really marvelous result in a very brief space of time. I remember recommending one to young lady dancing, and after 3 months her own husband did not know her.
And after 6 months, nobody knew her.
Glares at Jack for a few moments, then bends with a practised smile to Cecily. Kindly turn round, sweet child. No, the side view is what I want. Yes, quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The two weak points in our age is want of principle and is want of profile. The chin a little higher, dear. Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. They are worn very high just at present. The Algernon? Yes, Aunt Augusta. Sorry, hold on a minute. Oh, bloody hell, that's hard work. Excuse me.
Do you want me to do Algernon?
Yes, please.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
Perfect. There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cecily is the sweetest, dearest, prettiest girl in the whole world, and I don't care twopence about social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. Dear child, of course you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend on, but I do not approve of mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind, but I never dreamed for a moment of allowing that to stand in my way. Well, I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me. Thank you, Lady Bracknell. You may also address me as Aunt Augusta for the future. Thank you, Aunt Augusta. The marriage, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta. To speak frankly, I'm not in favour of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but this engagement is quite out of the question. I am Miss Cardew's guardian, and she cannot marry without my consent until she comes of age. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say, and ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me very much to speak frankly to you, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew, but the fact is that I do not approve at all of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Algernon? Impossible. He is an Oxonian.
I fear that there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house by means of the false pretense of being my brother. Under an assumed name, he drank, I've been informed by my butler, an entire pint bottle of my Perrier Brut 89. I don't know if I pronounced that properly or not, but anyways, I especially was reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful deception, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affection of my ward. He subsequently stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. Nom, 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 nom. And then what makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he was perfectly well aware from the first that I have no brother, that I never had a brother, and don't intend to have a brother, not of any kind. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
Well, Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I have decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That is very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My own decision, however, is unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, sweet child. How old are you, dear?
Well, I am really only 18, but I always admit 20 when I go to evening parties.
You are perfectly right in making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should ever be quite accurate about her age. It looks so calculating. 18, but not admitting to 20, but admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it will not be very long before you are of age and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I don't think your guardian's consent is, after all, a matter of any importance.
Pray excuse me, Lady Bracknell, for interrupting you again, but it is only fair to tell you that according to the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not legally come of age until she is 35.
That does not seem to me to be a grave objection. 35 is a very attractive age. London society is full of women of the very highest birth who have, of their own free choice, remained 35 for years. Lady Dumbleton is an instance in point. To my own knowledge, she has been 35 ever since she arrived at the age of 40, which was many years ago now. I see no reason why our dear Cecily should not be even still more attractive at the age you mention than she is at the present. There will be a large accumulation of property.
Algy, could you wait for me till I was 35?
Of course I could, Cecily. You know I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively, but I couldn't wait all that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. It always makes me rather cross. I am not punctual myself, I know, but I do like punctuality in others, and waiting, even to be married, is quite out of the question.
Then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrief. My dear Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait till she is 35, a remark which I am bound to say seems to me to show a somewhat impatient nature. I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
But, my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolen, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Then a passionate celibacy is all any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolen. Elgin, of course, can choose for himself. Come, dear, we have already missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready for the... Charsible's the doctor,
the
isn't
vicar.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
The christening, sir? Is not that somewhat premature?
Both these gentlemen have expressed a desire for immediate baptism.
At their age? The idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized. I will not hear of such excesses. Lord Bracknell would be highly displeased if he learned that was way. Lord Bracknell would be highly displeased if he learned that was the way in which you wasted your time and money.
Am I to understand, then, that there will be no christenings at all this afternoon? I don't think, as things are now, it would be very much practical value to either of us, Dr. Charsible. I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They savour of the heretical views of the Anabaptists, views which I have completely refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. However, as you present, your present mood seems to be one peculiarly secular. I will return to the church at once. Indeed, I have just been informed by the pew opener, that for the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell. I am on my way to join her.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove to be one of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies, and the very picture of respectability.
It is obviously the same person. May I ask what position she holds in your household?
I am celibate, madam.
We can't help but go up corpse on these all the time. Yes, he didn't miss a beat with the champagne or the nom. Completely agree. Rushed into marriage after only 13 years of engagement. Nice.
Young love.
Don't you think you rushed it into a bit there? As you said, you rushed into a bit. Okay, Watcher caught the live. Yes, we're so glad that you caught the live as well, Watcher. That's awesome. Yes, Dee, I don't repeat anything. No, I don't know. Anyway.
Miss Prism.
Miss Prism? Or do you want to...
I'm on Jack here. I'm celibate, madam. Miss Prism, Lady Bracknell has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and a valued companion.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
As she approaches, she is nigh.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Canon. I have been waiting for you there for an hour and 3/4. She catches sight of Lady Bracknell, who's fixed her with a stony glare. Miss Prism grows pale and quails. She looks anxiously around as if desirous to escape.
Desirous? Oh my.
Desirous? Prism? Come here, Prism. Miss Prism approaches in a humble manner. Prism, where is that baby? The canon stares back in horror.
Consternation, uproar.
Yes. Oh no. The canon stares back in horror. Algernon and Jack pretend to be anxious to shield Cecily and Gwendolen from hearing the details of a terrible public scandal. 28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104 Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, though, the elaborate investigations of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was discovered at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of a 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality. Miss Prism starts in involuntary indignation. But the baby was not there. Everyone looks at Miss Prism. Prism? Where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag, in which I had intended to place a manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
But where did you deposit the handbag?
Do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
Miss Prism, this is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the large railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton line.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolyn, wait here for me. If you're not too long, I will wait here. If you are not too long, I will wait here for you all my life. That just sidebar. That just like kind of. That kind of just threw me off because the two parts of that sentence are completely in conjunction with it. Oh, sure, if you're not too long, but I will wait here for you forever. Anyways, let's go on.
Okay.
Chasuble. What do you think this means, Lady Bracknell?
Chasuble is my favorite character that you do, and I keep corpsing when you do it. I'm taking that off you. I'm going to steal it off you, but I'll never be able to do it. I dare not even suspect, Dr. Chasuble. I need hardly tell you that in families of high position, strange coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are hardly considered the thing. Noises are heard overhead, as if someone was throwing trunks about. Everyone looks up.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
This noise is extremely unpleasant. It sounds as if he was having an argument. I dislike arguments of any kind. They are always vulgar and often not convincing.
It has stopped now.
I wish you would arrive at some conclusion.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. I never realized that's where that line came from. Anyways. Because that was oh god, now I forgot his name. Willy Wonka.
Oh my god, Gene
Wilder. Yeah, he said it in Willy Wonka. He said the suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last. Anyways.
Yeah, editing, which mediting. This is having fun with literature. You got so many kids out there doing literature, and they're like, "Oh, I've got to go." And we're just trying to have fun with it. So yes, thank you. We appreciate you, and I'm glad you enjoy it. Enter Jack with a handbag of black leather in his hand. Da, da, da.
Is this the handbag, Miss Prism? Examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
It seems to be mine, yes. Here is the injury it received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here is the stain on the lining caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred at Lymington. And here, on the lock, are my initials. I had forgotten that in an extravagant mood I had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I am delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
Miss Prism, more is restored to you than this handbag. I was the baby placed in it.
You?
Yes, Mother.
Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried.
Unmarried? I do not deny this is a serious blow, but after all, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Cannot repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why should there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Tries to embrace her again. Mr. Worthing, there is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but would you kindly inform me who I am?
I am afraid that the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother? I have a brother after all. I knew I had a brother. I always said I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted that I had a brother? Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate brother. Algy, you young scoundrel. You will have to treat me with more respect in the future. You have never behaved to me like a brother in all your life.
Well, not till today, old boy, I admit. I did my best, however, though I was out of practice.
My own. But what own are you? What is your Christian name now that you have become someone else? Good heavens, I'd quite forgotten the point. Your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I suppose. I never change, except in my affections.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolen.
Then the question had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta. Is Augusta or Augusta?
Augusta.
Aunt Augusta, a moment. At the time when Miss Prism left me in a handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, had been lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened. That is settled. Now, what was the name given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at the present moment recall what the general's Christian name was, but I have no doubt he had one. He was eccentric, I admit, but only in later years, and that was the result of the Indian climate, and marriage, and indigestion, and other things of that kind.
Algy, can't you recollect what your father's Christian name was?
My dear boy, we were never even on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
His name would appear in the army list of the period, I suppose, Aunt Augusta.
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life, but I have no doubt his name would appear in any military directory.
The army list of the last 40 years are here. These delightful records should have been my constant study. Generals Malum, Maxim Magli, what ghastly names they have. Markby, Migsby, Mobbs, Moncrief, Lieutenant in 1840, Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel General 1869, Christian names Ernest, John. I always told you, Gwendolen, my name was Ernest, didn't I? Well, it is Ernest after all. I mean, it is naturally Ernest.
Yes, I remember now that the general was called Ernest. I knew I had some particular reason for disliking the name.
Ernest, my own Ernest. I felt from the first that you could have no other name. Gwendolen, it is a terrible thing for a man to find out suddenly that all his life he's been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me? I can, for I feel so sure that you are sure to change. My own one. Letitia? Sure.
Yeah, Letitia.
Letitia.
Frederick, at last. Cecily.
Gwendolen, at last.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I have now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
And
No.
I
The whole act in one go at the time.
Yes, indeed. Ta-da! Yes, I think Jack is related to Gwendolen.
Yeah, but they'd just be cousins at that time, which is apparently fair game. Which is
in that particular social class, I would imagine it probably is.
Yeah, well, there's a reason. There's the reason the nobility developed weak chins. But anyhow. Just saying.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Right, yes. So, as you guys have probably noticed, I've got a bit of a bad throat today, but we have prepared things. I realized I was speaking the truth. Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. So, yes, hopefully I won't have any more coughs, because we don't want cough.
Indeed.
Because we all have the lurgy and whatnot. So we've got 2 of you left. Oh, crikey. I still think there's something wrong with my microphone. It sounds like it's getting a bit of a reverb going on it. So, sorry, Karen?
Do you have your headphones plugged directly into it? Is that what you hearing what you're saying? You sound fine to me.
Well, as long as it sounds fine, then that's cool. It's I think it's catching the cardioid when I'm talking through it.
Oh,
anyway, sorry. Enough speak of that nature. Oh my goodness. Yeah, speaking the truth, unfortunately we have to bend to our better judgment and speak the truth no matter who it hurts, maims or moiders.
That's maims and moiders.
Moiders. Oh my goodness me. Right, so the faces. So we made a couple of things. Now, fun fact, first time me and Bear met was actually
Bear saw a thing that I'd done on TikTok. Way back in the times, way back when in the before times.
That was just barely BC.
Yeah. It was BL, but it was BC. It was literally before it all went
pear-shaped.
So basically, we've known each other for 6 years. So it's kind of like it was. I'd made a TikTok. You tell it better than me, Mr. Bill.
Well, she made a TikTok basically just railing against the commercialism of Valentine's Day and the social pressures thereof, and how important it is to essentially make a day that means something to yourself, and don't let anyone tell you that another day has to be special.
Exactly. And we don't want any of this commercial nifnaphernalia. It's like all these like plastic balloons and fluffy. Who wants a padded card? Your value to me is this A4 piece of cardboard with a puffy padded plasticky thing on the front of it, and a gesture inside that's been thought up by somebody else who's got no clue about you, no clue about me, no clue about our history, no clue about lives that we've had together. So it's like, how can that be any indicator of how much you feel for somebody? I'm going to stop rambling now, I tell you.
But does it play a little tune when you open it? That's the question.
And then that tune won't turn off ever. Even if you burn it, and as you're burning it, it's like.
No, see, that's the thing. If you get one like that on purpose, then it's somebody that is they're your friend forever.
Pure flipping evil. That's what they are. Anyway, so
only somebody you're that close to can get away with being that cheeky.
You say get away like it's a given. No, that ain't no getting away with anything. Not in my world, fella. Not in my world. So I'm just checking my levels. So yeah, we'll give that a go. See if that sounds a bit better and doesn't reverb so much. Right. Past tense and petty, I think.
Past tense. Yes, indeed.
Roses, thorns, and goat hide slaps. How about that for a Saturday night, eh? Most people are like rock and roll and white wine, where roses, thorns, and goat hide slaps. Say goodbye to Mr. Bale's brother. Where's he gone? There's a lot of business out there, but the worst is commercialisms. Oh my goodness gracious. What movie was that? I can't think of that one. I don't know. We'll have to look it up. We'll have to Google it. So, Mr. Bear.
Yes, past tense and pretty. So we've got this as a bit of a thing. So the official introduction to Welcome to Past Tense and Pretty. I am Bear, and I'm currently looking at a box of supermarket chocolates that cost me $20 or equivalent thereof.
And I'm going to tell you about the fact that he got off easy. Now, in the year 400, your Valentine's gift wouldn't have been salted caramel. Oh, no. It would have been a brisk slap from a piece of wet goat skin, and you'd have said you were lucky.
So we're talking about Valentine's Day now.
Yeah. Before Valentine's Day was Valentine's Day.
Indeed.
Yes. So yeah, carry on.
That was yours. So yeah, you're
not. All right. Yes, we are talking about Valentine's Day. So strap on, because the original Valentine's Day makes a Tinder date in a basement look like a Disney movie. So we have to start with one I do actually have difficulty in pronouncing. Miracle on 34th Street, nice. But the one I have difficulty in pronouncing is Lupercalia. Yes, Lupercalia.
Sounds like an Italian goat vampire.
Not quite, close. Yeah. So it's ancient Rome, mid-February. So kind of like it goes along the lines of they're going like, the 14th of February. So basically the vibes, pure chaos. The ritual, the Luperci would sacrifice goats and a dog because they were mean. They'd cut the goat's hide into strips and then run around the city, hitting women with them to promote fertility. That's a score with me. Seriously, it's absolute score.
So we went from being hit by a goat strip to buying a giant teddy bear with a heart holding a heart that says "I love you."
Where's I love you? We did pictures. We were going to do a flip chart and everything, but the flip chart, like the whole kind of, we used to do like slideshows when I used to kind of like look at memes and stuff. But now we just make pictures and go ha ha ha, and we create pictures to go along with these things. Do you want to put it up or shall I?
I'm trying.
Look how professional we are.
Yeah.
Yay. We prepared. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. So there we go. As an example, this is the person of buying a giant teddy bear, holding a heart that says "I love you," but it's a balloon. It's a big wet balloon.
It's a balloon.
Yes, and that's the evolution of it all. Just look it up. But anyway, the church was like, hey, maybe let's stop the goat slapping or the flapping about of goat skin. And Pope Gelasius, do you know something? Speaking Dutch, like, I'm sorry, what is this? I'm in Dutch, look at me. But you've got to, anytime there's a G at the beginning of a word, I'm very, very naff at it. So the fact that I've just done that without a breath of like Pope Gelasius, and I'm like, what? Right. Anyway, Pope Gelasius I, or Gelasius, stepped in around 496 AD. He was like, I don't think you're really expressing yourself quite nicely with that goat skin flapping about. It's dangerous for a start. You could have somebody's eye out. Now, he replaced this pagan festival with a feast day for Saint Valentine.
Valentine, the one with the arrows and the diaper?
No, that's Cupid. God, get your levels straight. Come on now. You're the man who's on the facts. Like, seriously, sort it out. Right. St. Valentine was a 3rd century priest, and he was a total rebel. Emperor Claudius II banned marriage because of thought single men made better soldiers. I bet they did. They were still, you look up your history of the Romans in those days. They were naughty fellas. They really were. Anyway, he basically tried to turn the Roman Empire into a giant bachelor pad. Can you imagine the smell?
I was gonna say, based on what I know of ancient Rome, a bunch of single guys palling around together wouldn't limit their romantic prospects. But a bold policy nonetheless. How'd that go for him?
Well, Dee's asking, will they find out why it was called the Feast of St. Valentine? We are certainly getting to that point. Yes. So, it didn't go great for him. Valentine started marrying young lovers in secret, like a holy Las Vegas wedding chapel, but with much higher stakes. So eventually he got caught and thrown in the jail, the old-fashioned jail back in the day. See, he's in the jail and he's got a couple of little cupids playing cards with hearts.
So this is where it gets romantic in a Roman dungeon then.
Well, yeah. Each their own and all that, whatever floats your boat, makes your wicket sticky, makes your bean. Anyway, legend says he fell his daughter. Before he was executed, he sent her a note signed, "From your Valentine." Yeah.
So the most popular line for V-Day cards is actually the final words of a guy on death row then.
Well, nothing says "I love you" like a pending execution, but that's probably where the Feast of St. Valentine came from as well, because it would have been basically his last meal if they were given last meals in those days. But yes, the whole flowers and romance thing didn't really kick in until the 14th century, and we've got Chaucer to think of that, And fun fact, I actually read Chaucer when I was at Skill, and I can still remember, the Canterbury Tales. It's like 1 April de Charles the younger son was born in Doruta. Yeah. Middle English. Check me out. Yes, he was the Canterbury Tales guy. Now, get on this one. The very one. He started linking Valentine's Day to the mating season of birds in his poetry, even though birds aren't really mating in February, I don't think. So anyway, suddenly everybody was obsessed with courtly love. It went from "don't get executed" to "let's write a sonnet about your eyebrows."
So we started with bloody goat skins, moved to secret underground weddings, survived a jailhouse romance, and ended up with Chaucer birdwashing.
And now we're buying overpriced chuckies.
I'd rather the chocolates than the goat hide, I suppose.
Coward.
That's the origins as far as we know it. Just don't defy any emperors today.
And keep your goat hides to yourself. Cause now, yeah, we're gonna go and do something different, because we're gonna go on to the commercialism of Valentine's Day. We wrote an essay. Yeah, what? Us two. We're doing nothing. What me? No. So
the funny thing is like that line I read, like I saw that line, and it I heard it in your more northern. Keep your goat hides to yourself.
Keep your goat hides to yourself. Get on with your goat hides and you're slapping across my face. Yeah, man.
Hey, Raj, what you like?
You're Raj, God, you get away with you. Right, so Valentine's Day. We've got to the point we know where it's come from. So basically, it's come from goat hide slapping, and underground weddings, and it's come from some quite dark things, like, because nobody really celebrated like Valentine back in the day. In fact, he was, yeah. Well, we don't know how old this jailer's daughter was for a start. You know, there could be some files of some sort of nature on this, but you know. The goats love it. Right, so according to my books, they should be filled with handwritten sonnets and dramatic declarations in the rain. So that's what Chaucer wanted, but they're not.
But according to the ledgers, it's mostly filled with mass production and clever marketing. The holiday as we know it didn't just fall from a tree. It took off during the Industrial Revolution.
Spoken like a true historian there. But you have to admit, there's poetry in the beginning of it, is the romanticism of it. You know, it's like, oh, I'm about to cark it on death row, and the last thing I think about is you. Aww. You know, he sent her a note. You know. Anyway, yes, but before the 1840s, though, Valentines were these gorgeous handwritten letters and vinegar notes that I said about in the last one.
Vinegar notes.
They were rare, they were expensive, and they were poisonal.
But they were inefficient. That's where Esther Howland comes in. In 1847, she saw those expensive English imports and thought, I can do better. She started an assembly line, women in Massachusetts, before Henry Ford, who got the credit for assembly lines. Typical patriarchy. To mass produce lace and silk cards. She turned it into a niche tradition. She turned a niche tradition into $1 million industry.
And this is where you're taking the romanticism and you're making it freaking efficient. It's like, I don't know if you saw the scene in The In-Betweeners, where I can't remember his name. The lad, he's played by Simon Bird, I think his name is. But he's kind of like, it's the first time he kind of like bumps uglies with the lass he likes. And of course, he's still got his V card. And he's like being very efficient when he's like a board. And he's like, oh my God, cringe.
So much is America's fault, D.
Everything's the Americans' fault. God, look, wait, we can get into conversations, but we're not gonna. No, we're just gonna turn the other way and go. Nope, I know too much about that. I'm going to look at chocolate. You've heard of Cadbury's, haven't you? Right. So Cadbury's did it in a different way. Okay, so you've got your kind of your production line, which that's where the frills came from. There's no need for that many freaking frills. There isn't, and we're allowed to say it's America's fault because we are representative of the UK and America in this one. It's not always America's fault, but it was on that one because we said so. Because the words said it's words. It's the words that the words say things. Anyway, I want to go talking about chocolate. So Richard Cadbury created the first heart-shaped box of chocolates and marketed them as dual purpose. Damn right they're dual purpose, because the modern heart is like two lobes that it normally has, which is basically, as you know, if you've seen it like the human heart, it might be like 4 chambers and like kind of 2 lobes sort of thing, but it doesn't look like a nice equal symmetrical sort of thing that you can make out of your hands, which I'm doing at the moment. But it's kind of like a big lump of bloody muscle.
Meat.
mate. So yes, the first heart-shaped box of chocolates and marketed them as dual purpose. You give the sweets and your beloved keeps the box to store their love letters. Oh.
Or the tax receipts. By the 1850s, the jewelry industry, specifically De Beers, pushed the diamonds are forever narrative so hard that Valentine's Day became the perfect day for marriage proposals. It's retail social obligation now.
You say social... You say social obligation, and I say cultural narrative. And you're not putting pictures up, for goodness sake. Look at Wales. They don't need diamonds. They have St. Dwinwyn's Day, where they exchange hand-carved love spoons. It's symbolic.
I'll give you the spoons. But what about the Grikkebue in Denmark? It's an anonymous joke poem. If the recipient doesn't guess the sender, they win an Easter egg. It's basically a literary gambling ring.
Ooh, it's charming. Now, in South Africa, right, women pin the names of their crushes to their sleeves, like ancient Rome. But I tell you where it really does take a turn, right? Okay, so in Japan, you've got Girit Choco. Women give chocolates to men, friends and colleagues, and men return the favour a month later on March 14th, known as White Day. Now, I've got to say, I would not be surprised, watcher. I would not be surprised. So, White Day. We've got Japan is the White Day, all lovely and joyful and bright and sunny. But I've got to, I'm sorry, like, goth forever, I've got to go with the Koreans, because South Korea's Black Day is a little bit darker. They literally eat black noodles on April the 14th because they didn't get any gifts. They didn't have a boyfriend.
It is a huge market, though. In the UK, it's 1.38 billion. In the US, it's 25 billion. We're even buying Valentine's gifts for our pets.
Well, why not? They were worthy babies.
They deserve it.
Yeah, the heart wants what it wants, and sometimes it wants a card, but mine does not want a card. I think it's wrong. It's like I said before and earlier on. It's like, how can you? I mean, unless it's one of those ones with like kind of like the fruit on them, and it's like I love you from my head. Tomatoes. It's a tomato.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, I like those sort of ones. They're kind of funny, but you can get those year round, and it's like you don't need a special day for it. And it's like if you see a gesture or you see something funny that I mean, I have noticed this year that people are posting, they're posting when they've got each other cards, and either they've got each other the same sort of version of a card or a different translation, but the same thing. I saw one which is like Yoda one for me, and like baby Yoda one for me, and they each got each other that card. And it had a baby Yoda on, but it was a slightly different illustration. And it was the cutest thing in the world. He's like, what? Yeah, I think it makes sense about the heart being turned upside down. I think it's pretty awesome. Anyway, so there are 145 million cards sent every year. Moonpig must be doing an absolute
Moonpig is
banger
awesome.
of a fortune. Moonpig is the most wonderful thing in the world. And they do really nice cards as well. Not sponsored by them, but I do use them an awful lot. And especially when you're sending over to America. Like, seriously, I can send cards and stuff to like Barry's family and that sort of thing. And I know that, well, every other time before the last time, they've got there, no problem, perfect, sorted. I can rely on them very, very well. Oh, you see, that is so sweet. Oh my goodness gracious. See, that's how it's done. My goodness. Right, but I like these. Tell you what, right? Okay, so basically there's all reasons why we don't do Valentine's and that sort of thing. That's pretty awesome. But what I did find very funny is that people had to celebrate the day. Now, I think like having individual days that you celebrate with each other is great. Not necessarily your anniversaries, not necessarily birthdays or public holidays. Something that's just for you, something that's for your time, you know? And the thing is that whether it's Galentine's Day for the besties, for the gals, or Single Awareness Day, which is sad for the solo readers, yeah.
Right. Either way, somebody's making a profit.
Oh, shush. I'm going to find me a love spoon. That sounds really dodgy.
I'll give you a spoon.
Oh, my goodness gracious. That sounded really creepy in the best possible way. Oh, I think this is the best timing one yet that we've done.
I know, right?
It's literally coming on an hour.
On the
You two on the hour on the R. It's coming up to the R. But my lovely beans, my voice is about to give out. So
likewise.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very, very much.
Good to see you. And
yes, it's good to see you. So big love.
Happy Valentine's Day. Have a lovely evening.
Shove it up your ass. We don't like Valentine's Day. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy whatever you choose to celebrate, whether it be the V-Day, Valentine's Day, Girls' Day, Boys' Day, Sad Day, Inside Out, Back to Front and Sideways Day. Hugs and kisses. You are the bestest. Take care. Take it easy.